Hi everybody, so I am here with Adrienne Young, author of Sky in the Deep, whose book we are including in our May Fight Like a Girl box. I'm super excited to talk with you today. Thank you for joining us.
Having me. I'm super excited.
Yeah. So this is going to be a fun, short interview, and we're just going to get right to it. So I'm sure you've done a ton of interviews like this with your debut book, but can you give us a bit of insight into Sky in the Deep and kind of where your idea came from?
I first got the idea for Sky in the Deep in the sibling story, the story about Elin and her brother who died 5 years ago, but suddenly he's here now on the battlefield fighting with the enemy on the other side. That was my initial lightning strike moment. But as I started writing the story, it kind of started taking this Viking shape, which was really fun. And at first I kind of resisted it a little bit, but then I finally just really leaned into it and I was like, this is a perfect fit. And it was just kind of an organic evolution, but it all started with Elin and her brother.
Right. And did you know quite a bit about Viking mythology and Viking kind of Norse history before you did this book, or?
Yeah, I'm a major research junkie. I love research. I love history. I studied art history in school. So I really kind of had a little bit of a reservoir of information. I think I have a lot of random information in my head where I've read about things I'm interested in, or just have gone down the rabbit trail black hole of research. And the Vikings are one of those things. I've just been really fascinated by them before, and so I've kind of started researching things, but not to the same extent that I had to actually start drafting the book.
Right. All right, so we've been following kind of your journey on Instagram, and we've noticed that you had this holy shit list that you've been talking about. I want to kind of explore the history of that. When did you make that list, and kind of what was it like being able to kind of go through checking off those items?
Yeah. Okay. So when my agent offered to me, Renee Adia, the author of Wrath in the Dawn and Flame in the Mist, she called me because she's also with my agent.
Right.
And she called me to kind of give Barbara, my agent, a recommendation kind of. So anyway, she was talking to me about Barbara and just about her publishing journey. And at the end of our conversation, she was like, I'm going to give you a little bit of unsolicited advice. Make a list that's called your holy shit moments list and put on it 5 big moments that you just think if that happened to me, holy shit, Right. And so I did. I made my list. I had 5, maybe 6 things on there. And I pinned it up in my office before I signed with my agent. And then when I did sign with my agent, I got to cross the first one off. Well, this whole getting up to that point was not a quick process. But since I signed with my agent, everything has been a whirlwind. We sold the book right away. It came out almost exactly a year after I sold it.
Which is quite fast, right?
So fast. I mean, most authors, you have to wait 18 months, 2 years for the book to actually hit shelves. And so it just, the way everything worked out, everything clicked into place. So I didn't think I was going to be able to cross things off the list that quickly, but I did. And so here now, a year later, the last thing on the list was to become a New York Times bestseller. And so when the book hit, that was the first thing I did. I went to my office and I got my Sharpie and I filmed just marking it off, and it was just such a cool experience.
Epic moment.
Yeah, it's a very tangible way to look at these are the things that were not real to me and they were just dreams, and now they're real living things in my life. And so it was really cool. But now I need to make very enthusiastic bird.
Yes, very well done.
Now my job is to make a second list, which I'm calling my Holy Shit Moments 2.0 list. And I need to put some more ambitious things on there to cross off for the future. So,
any sneak peeks onto what would be on there?
I'll probably definitely put a movie. Having one of your books made into a movie, that's
a pretty big deal.
Holy shit, So,
or, has Sky in the Deep been optioned for a movie?
No, not yet.
Not yet. That'd be a good one too.
Yeah, that would
even being optioned.
Just
pretty cool.
Yeah, just selling the rights would be amazing.
Yeah.
So that'll probably be on there too.
So, Sky in the Deep is your debut novel. Mm-hmm. Do you remember the moment pre-submitting it that you said this story is done?
I was trying to finish the book so fast. I had a real sense of urgency about this book. As soon as I got the idea, I just felt this thing in me that was I need to get it done now. The timing is right now. So I was trying to just fly through it. I got through it so fast. And then when I did get to the end, I don't think it really was done. I mean,
there's so much work that has to go
I mean,
in.
I would never tell an aspiring author to turn in a book in the state that I queried Sky in the Deep
Right.
with. But my intuition was telling me, like, you need to move fast. And so anyway, I did, and I really didn't feel like it was totally done until my agent and I did like a short round of revisions on it.
Right.
And then once like we kind of built out a couple of things that were thin, then it felt really complete to me.
Right.
So when we finally like went out to publishing houses with it, it felt much more like a cohesive, like solid story.
Awesome. In your personal life, before Sky in the Deep and writing, getting published, getting picked up by an agent, were you enthusiastic or part of the YA community?
I was like, I was trying to get published for a good 5 or 6 years before Sky in the Deep. So I was, in the beginning, I was just so introverted. I was terrified to get out there and like meet people in the community or like pretend as if, one day I might be published or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like very intimidated. Yeah. But the last couple of years before I sold the book is when I really started stepping outside my comfort zone and started like, looking for opportunities to network with people who were more experienced than me and learning from other people and just learning more about the industry. It's a complicated process and a complicated structure, like how everything works, and there's so many people at play. So I feel like once I did that is really when things started moving forward for me. I started really understanding what this world was about and like how all the cogs worked and everything, and it was like it really was a game changer to finally just get out there and like jump into the community. And then when the book sold, it was like I kind of had a little bit of a place already to branch out from.
Important, right?
Yes, it's invaluable.
Especially in like the YA community is so enthusiastic about everything that we do. Like even just we're a subscription box, and people are like crazy about this kind of thing.
Totally.
And it's like being part of the community is like I think it's a little bit more special than some other literary communities. I think being able to connect with so many different like ages of readers. Not only is it like kids to teens, but it's it's young adults and it's actual adults. We have subscribers that are 50 years old that love these books, and it's like it's a really cool community.
Oh yeah, I think it's the reader community where like you can just totally fangirl. Like you can just be ridiculous.
Like unapologetically love it.
Yeah, and no one is gonna like look at that weird. Everyone is gonna fully understand and embrace that.
Yeah, exactly.
So it is, I think, a very unique community.
Yeah, I'm so grateful to be a part of it.
I know. You guys are like a fun part too.
It's a pretty fun job, not gonna lie. Now kind of on that note, do you remember how you felt when you learned that we picked your book for OwlCrate?
Yeah, I think that learning that Sky in the Deep was going to be in the OwlCrate box was my first big, like, this is happening. Yeah. Like, oh, like this book is like really going to be a book and it's going to come out and people are going to read it. I think that was really the first thing that happened along the journey where it was getting attention. Like people were like noticing it and they were excited about it. So it totally blew me away. I was like, wait, are you sure? Are you sure about this? Like, wait, is this for real? Like they're thinking about it or like they really want to do it or what? So I was just over the moon excited because I think that the subscription box thing it's not just fun, but it also is like playing this totally different role in like the reader world. And so I was super excited to be a part of that. And I've seen too just like the impact, subscription boxes have had on like exposure for books and sales and just excitement and all of that. So I was like so excited.
And it's like, bringing people together. It's basically like this book club with thousands of people.
Oh, totally.
Like,
yeah.
And like, we've been so blessed to be able to work with people like you who are enthusiastic and who want to engage with our community as well, and so it's just been, in creating the exclusive covers for you guys and like that kind of thing has just been so much fun. And thank you for signing all of those pages.
I did, I signed a lot of tip-in sheets, which I was happy to do, but I definitely underestimated. Yeah, I definitely underestimated like what that was going to be, and my team totally warned me. They were like, okay, now are you sure you understand what this commitment is type of attitude? And I'm just like, oh yeah. And then like halfway through the tip-in sheets I was like, oh shit. Like this is what they meant. Like, it's a real thing.
We are very, very grateful.
Yeah, well, and it's so worth it. It's so worth it because I know, like, you know, I'm a reader and I'm a fangirl of many YA books. Yeah. So I'm like, I know the value of having that, of having like the author sign your book and getting that. So I think it's a really, like, I think it's so cool you guys do that. Even as you grow, you keep doing that.
We try. And like, and again, like every month we're like, please say yes to signing the books. Because, you know, it's not a small thing to do.
Yeah.
No, it's a, thank you. You're welcome. So we are here at YallWest in Santa Monica. Have you been to YallWest before?
Yeah, last year was my first year coming.
Yeah. So it's a super fun, just like outdoor, casual YA festival that's awesome. What is your favorite part about YallWest?
I think last year was my first time at either YallWest or YallFest, and I think what's really cool about these festivals is they are so reader focused, like so teen focused too, where it's like everything seems to be focused on just the readers. And I don't know if that's because it's author run or I don't know why, but I just feel like they have a totally different vibe than a lot of the conferences and
100%.
festivals where, you know, there's a lot going on, but there's a lot going on here too, but it just feels very celebratory of
like everybody's like super like very like you can make friends with the person behind you in line.
Totally.
Right?
Everyone's happy to be here, everybody wants to be here, and you know, like everyone has a common ground, and I mean from all walks of life too, which is really cool thing to see. So yeah, I think that it's a really cool festival, and I mean, I think it's probably my favorite one that I've been to is the YallWest and YallFest ones.
I agree. Yeah, YallFest and YallWest, both, they're different, but they're both so great. If you ever get the opportunity to go, you should definitely check it out. And they're free. They're free festivals.
Yeah, they're free too. So I'm like, and you have access to so many amazing authors and really cool panels, thoughtful content being provided. So yeah, I'm a big fan of them.
All right, final question. Very important, most important question of the day. What Hogwarts house are you in?
Oh my gosh.
Most important.
I'm overly analytical, so I'm like, I've been having this conversation a lot lately, where I've been like, you know, I was always a Ravenclaw. I mean, I was always a Gryffindor, and then I was like, you know, I'm really more of like a Gryffindor, and I like retested myself, you know, to like get the official whatever confirmation. And then I was, but then like, I feel like also lately, as I've really kind of come to terms with myself a little more, I'm like, I feel like there's some Slytherin tendencies in there, if I'm being totally honest.
Embrace the Slytherin.
Yeah, so right now, I feel like I'm kind of like a mashup right now, but I still think I'm always more heavily weighted in Gryffindor. So, I don't know. We'll see. If you ask me in 2 years, I might have a different answer.
That's completely fair. Yeah. We're allowed to change as people.
Yeah.
Well, that was really great. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your
Thank
day
you
to
for
chat
having
with
me.
us.
Yeah.
And I'm super excited to send out the Fight Like a Girl box. Sky in the Deep is just such a wonderful book, and we are excited to share it with the world.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Okay. Bye.